For decades, Gilligan's Island has been America's favorite innocent sitcom about 7 castaways stranded on a tropical paradise. But what if everything you thought you knew was wrong? What if this beloved show was actually hiding dark secrets, sinister theories, and disturbing truths that would forever change how you see those harmless 3-hour tours?
Here on Gilligan's Island.
Prepare to have your childhood memories shattered as we count down the most shocking revelations. Number 20. The island represents hell itself. The most chilling theory about Gilligan's Island suggests the castaways aren't just stranded, they're damned. Think about it. 7 people trapped in a place they desperately want to leave but never can, despite countless opportunities. The island becomes a prison where hope is constantly dangled before them, only to be snatched away. This isn't comedy, it's eternal punishment. The tropical setting masks a sinister reality where the characters are doomed to repeat their failures forever, much like the mythological punishment of Sisyphus rolling his boulder up the mountain for eternity. I mean, consider the evidence. No matter how many rescue opportunities arise, something always goes wrong at the last moment. Ships pass by without seeing their signals. Rescue planes fly overhead without spotting them, and every communication device mysteriously fails when help is within reach. This pattern isn't coincidence, it's the systematic torture of souls who have been judged and found wanting. The island's beautiful facade hides its true nature as a supernatural prison designed to break the human spirit through endless cycles of hope and despair. 19. Each character embodies one of the 7 deadly sins. The most disturbing aspect of this theory is how perfectly each castaway represents a deadly sin. Thurston Howell III is pure greed, obsessed with money even when it's worthless on the island. He hoards resources, refuses to share, and constantly schemes to maintain his wealth-based superiority even in their desperate situation. His wife, Lovey, represents pride, looking down on others despite their shared predicament, maintaining her snobbish attitude even when survival should be the only priority. Ginger Grant embodies lust, using her sexuality as a weapon to manipulate the men and get what she wants. She's constantly preening, flirting, and leveraging her physical appeal rather than contributing meaningfully to their survival. Marianne represents envy, constantly comparing herself to Ginger and feeling inadequate despite her practical skills and genuine kindness. The professor symbolizes intellectual pride, believing his knowledge makes him superior while consistently failing to solve their most basic problem: escape. The skipper is wrath personified, quick to anger and violence, constantly threatening and physically abusing Gilligan for mistakes that aren't entirely his fault. And Gilligan? He's sloth, the lazy, incompetent whose inaction and bumbling consistently doom them all. Each character is trapped not just physically, but spiritually, by their dominant sin that defines their every action and reaction. Number 18. Gilligan is actually the devil in disguise. Here's where the theory gets truly terrifying. Gilligan, the show's supposed hero, is actually the architect of their damnation. Notice how he always wears red, the devil's color. Every time rescue seems possible, Gilligan's innocent mistakes ensure they remain trapped. He's not bumbling, he's calculating. His childlike demeanor is the perfect disguise for pure evil. He keeps the other 6 souls imprisoned in their personal hell, feeding off their despair while maintaining his innocent facade. The devil's greatest trick was convincing the world he doesn't exist, and Gilligan pulls off this deception perfectly.
There's Gilligan!
Well, if it isn't Merlin, the magician.
Consider the pattern. Whenever the professor creates a working radio, Gilligan accidentally breaks it. When rescue ships approach, Gilligan's actions drive them away. When escape plans are formulated, Gilligan's interference ensures failure. The timing is too perfect to be accidental. He's not a lovable fool. He's a malevolent force disguised as harmless incompetence. His sailor hat even resembles horns when viewed from certain angles, and his perpetual smile becomes sinister when you realize it's the grin of someone who enjoys others' suffering. Most telling of all, Gilligan never seems to suffer the same despair as the others. While they grow increasingly desperate to escape, he remains cheerfully oblivious, almost content with their situation. That's because he's exactly where he wants to be, surrounded by souls to torment for eternity. Number 17. The Coast Guard received hundreds of rescue demands. During the show's original run, the U.S. Coast Guard was flooded with letters and telegrams from concerned citizens demanding to know why the military wasn't rescuing the castaways. People genuinely believed 7 Americans were starving to death while the government did nothing. Coast Guard commanders had to visit CBS studios with stacks of angry mail from patriotic viewers. The most disturbing part? These viewers heard the laugh track after every tragedy, but still believed it was real. They thought there was an audience of sociopaths somewhere, laughing at human suffering. If you're enjoying these revelations, make sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell. You won't want to miss our upcoming deep dives into other innocent TV shows that might be hiding sinister secrets. Number 16. The original theme song was composed by John Williams.
Just sit right back and you'll hear a tale of a fateful...
Before becoming the maestro behind Star Wars, Jaws, and countless other iconic scores, John Williams composed the original Calypso-style theme for Gilligan's Island. But here's the disturbing part. The original version was much darker, with lyrics that hinted at the castaways' doom rather than their adventure. The cheerful sea shanty we know was a deliberate cover-up, designed to hide the show's true sinister nature. Williams himself may have recognized the dark undertones he was creating and later distanced himself from the project, going on to score tales of good versus evil instead. Number 15. The lagoon was a toxic death trap. The beautiful tropical lagoon where the castaways spent so much time was actually a contaminated nightmare. The man-made CBS lagoon was only 4 feet deep and constantly clogged with algae and chemicals. The water was so toxic that when Bob Denver and Alan Hale dropped a fish into it during a break, the fish died instantly. Cast members regularly got sick from exposure to the contaminated water, but production continued anyway. The Paradise was literally poisoning the actors, mirroring how the fictional island was spiritually poisoning the characters' souls. Number 14. Tina Louise was trapped in her own personal hell. Tina Louise, who played Ginger, experienced her own version of the island's curse in real life. She was a serious dramatic actress who found herself typecast and trapped by the role she desperately wanted to escape. Like her character, she was imprisoned by circumstances beyond her control. Louise refused to participate in reunion movies, trying desperately to break free from the show's grip on her career. Her real-life struggle to escape Gilligan's Island mirrors the character's futile attempts to leave their prison, suggesting the show's dark influence extended well beyond the screen. Number 13. The professor's inventions were instruments of torture.
Now, this lie detector should prove conclusively that I had nothing to do with the notes.
Look closely at the professor's miraculous inventions, and you'll notice something disturbing. They never actually help anyone escape. He can make a radio out of coconuts, but can't fix a simple hole in a boat. His creations serve only to give false hope before inevitable disappointment. This isn't incompetence, it's psychological torture. The professor becomes an unwitting agent of the island's malevolent force, creating elaborate ways to torment his fellow prisoners with the illusion of progress while ensuring they remain trapped forever. Number 12. The show premiered during America's darkest hour. Gilligan's Island premiered on September the 26th of 1964, less than a year after President Kennedy's assassination. America was still in mourning, and if you look carefully at the opening credits, you can spot an American flag flying at half-mast in the background as the SS Minnow sails out of harbor. This wasn't coincidence, it was symbolism. The show launched during a period of national trauma, offering false comfort while reflecting the country's descent into a darker era of war, social upheaval, and lost innocence. Number 11. The island's location keeps changing like a supernatural force. Throughout the series, the island's coordinates are completely inconsistent, sometimes placing it near Hawaii, other times near Mexico, and occasionally in locations that don't exist in the real Pacific Ocean. This isn't sloppy writing, it's evidence of the island's supernatural nature. Like a phantom ship or cursed location from maritime folklore, the island exists outside normal geography, appearing wherever it needs to trap new souls. The constantly shifting location suggests the island itself is alive, an entity that moves through dimensions to ensnare the unwary. Number 10. Jim Backus's real-life cheapskate behavior mirrored his character's greed. The actor who played the greedy millionaire, Thurston Howell III, was notoriously cheap in real life, constantly forgetting his wallet and sticking his co-stars with lunch bills. This wasn't method acting, it was the role consuming the actor. Backus became so identified with greed that it infected his real personality. When Natalie Schafer finally presented him with an itemized bill for $300 worth of unpaid meals, Backus laughed, but the damage was done. The character's sin had become the actor's reality, proving the show's corrupting influence extended beyond fiction. Number 9. Alan Hale Jr. had serious injuries to keep working. The skipper's dedication to the show bordered on self-destruction. Alan Hale Jr. broke his arm during filming, but hid the injury for weeks, continuing to perform physical comedy and stunts while nursing a broken bone. This wasn't professionalism, it was obsession. Like his character trapped on the island, Hale became trapped by the show, unable to escape even when his body was breaking down. His willingness to endure physical pain for the production mirrors the character's psychological suffering, suggesting the show's influence was literally breaking the actors. Number 8. The show was canceled to save Gunsmoke, revealing TV's ruthless nature. Gilligan's Island wasn't canceled due to poor ratings. It was sacrificed to save Gunsmoke because CBS President William Paley's wife loved the Western. This cold business decision reveals the ruthless nature of television, where shows and careers are destroyed on personal whims. The castaways' fate was sealed not by their own actions, but by forces beyond their control, just like the characters they portrayed. The show's cancellation became another layer of the curse, proving that even in the real world, escape was impossible. Now, if these revelations are shocking you, wait until you see what's coming next. Don't forget to like this video and share it with someone who needs to know the truth about their favorite childhood show. Number 7. The animated spin-offs were desperate attempts to escape the curse. The various animated versions of Gilligan's Island weren't innocent children's entertainment. They were desperate attempts to break free from the show's dark influence. By transforming the characters into cartoons, producers hoped to drain the sinister power from the original concept. But the curse was just too strong. Even in animated form, the characters remained trapped. Their situations became more absurd, and new generations of viewers were drawn to the island's influence. The spin-offs only spread the contamination further, proving that once you're touched by the island's darkness, there's simply no escape. Number 6. The SS Minnow was named after a real person, and it's disturbing. The ship that brought our castaways to their doom was named after Newton Minnow, the FCC chairman who famously called television a vast wasteland. This wasn't random, it was a deliberate curse. By naming their vessel after the man who condemned television, the show's creators were acknowledging their medium's corrupting influence. The SS Minnow becomes a metaphor for television itself, a vessel that promises entertainment but delivers spiritual destruction. Every viewer who boards this metaphorical ship risks being stranded in their own wasteland of mindless consumption. Number 5. The 3-hour tour was a lie from the beginning. The famous 3-hour tour that stranded our castaways was never meant to be 3 hours. This was the first lie in a series of deceptions that would define the show. The tour was a trap designed to lure unsuspecting passengers to their doom. The skipper and Gilligan weren't incompetent sailors caught in a storm. They were agents of the island's force, deliberately delivering fresh souls to their supernatural prison. The weather started getting rough wasn't natural. It was summoned by the island itself to ensure its newest victims couldn't escape. Number 4. The laugh track becomes sinister when you know the truth. Once you understand the show's true nature, the laugh track becomes deeply disturbing. Those aren't audiences laughing at harmless comedy. They're the sounds of previous victims, souls trapped in the island's influence, forced to find humor in other suffering. Every laugh becomes a cry of anguish, every chuckle a sob of despair. The laugh track isn't enhancing comedy, it's the sound of collective madness, the audio representation of minds broken by the island's psychological torture. When you hear that laughter now, you're hearing the voices of the damned. Number 3. The castaways' backstories reveal they were already damned. Look closely at each character's pre-island life, and you'll see they were already living in their own personal hells. Thurston Howell III was a soulless capitalist. Lovey was a social climber. Ginger using her body for fame. Mary Ann was running from small-town limitations. The professor was isolated by his intellect, and the skipper was a failed military man. They weren't innocent victims. They were already lost souls. The island didn't corrupt them. It simply made their existing damnation visible. Gilligan was their guide to this revelation, showing them what they had already become. Number 2. The show's popularity proves its corrupting influence. The most terrifying aspect of Gilligan's Island isn't the show itself, it's how beloved it became. Generations of viewers have been drawn to this tale of eternal imprisonment, finding comfort in other suffering. The show's enduring popularity proves its supernatural influence, creating a cult of viewers who unknowingly celebrate damnation. Every rerun spreads the contamination further. Every nostalgic reference draws more souls into the island's web. We don't watch Gilligan's Island. It watches us, studying our reactions and learning how to trap us more effectively.
Alive! My poor little buddy! You dumb old mine.
And at number 1, the real horror is that we're all castaways now. The ultimate revelation is that Gilligan's Island was never about 7 people trapped on an island. It was about all of us, trapped in modern life. We're the castaways, stranded in our own personal hells, constantly promised rescue that never comes. Television itself is our island, keeping us passive and entertained while our real lives slip away. We laugh at the castaways' failed escape attempts while failing to escape our own prisons of routine, consumption, and spiritual emptiness. Gilligan's Island wasn't predicting the future. It was revealing the present. We're all already on the island, and we always have been. There you have it, the 20 dark truths that transform Gilligan's Island from innocent comedy into existential horror. Once you see these patterns, you can never unsee them. The show becomes a mirror, reflecting our own trapped existence back at us. But perhaps that's the point. Perhaps recognizing our imprisonment is the first step toward escape. Or perhaps that's just another false hope, another rescue ship that will never arrive. So what do you think? Are these theories too dark, or do they reveal hidden truths about this beloved show? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more deep dives into the dark secrets hiding in your favorite childhood memories. Remember, once you start seeing the truth, there's no going back to innocence. Welcome to your own personal island.